All right, here we go.
Yeah,
Omar Gooding, welcome to Vlad TV.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Longtime fan of your work. Most known for your role as Sweet Pea and Baby Boy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but,
sir.
Been in a lot of other TV shows.
Started as a TV guy.
Yeah.
Started as a TV. Shout out to John Singleton, who saw something and said, let me see if I can make him a movie star. So,
oh, yeah. And of course, you had the show with my man, Mark Curry.
Yes, sir.
Let's not forget that.
Yes, sir. Hang with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah. Well, this is your first time here, so I want to start in the very beginning.
Yeah.
So you were born in L.A.?
Yes.
Okay.
Pacoima, California.
Pacoima, California. Oh. And it was 4 kids, right?
3 kids. I had a half brother that I didn't meet till I was older, but
okay.
My father didn't meet him till he was older as well. So it's
okay.
another interview. That's another interview.
It's another interview. And what I didn't know until actually doing the research is that your dad was in the group, well, the lead singer in the group, the main ingredient.
Yes, sir.
With their hit song, Everybody Plays the Fool.
Yes, sir.
Which I've been listening to like my whole life.
Really? Did you see The Joker?
The Joker.
The Joker, that the last movie that the last rendition of The Joker. Actually, The Joker that just came out. Came out. Yeah, there's a scene in it where they play my father's song. They play Everybody Plays the Fool. A lot of people didn't catch it. Of course, it was right after he passed, so we caught it, But it was deep to hear that. I mean, they play it in its entirety. But The Joker is such an intense movie. You're probably not paying attention to the Everybody Plays the Fool in the background, but we heard it. But it was an interesting moment.
I mean, that's a timeless song.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a timeless hit.
And true.
Yeah, I mean, when it came out, it was number 3 on the Billboard charts.
Yes.
And then they had other hits as well. Yeah. They had Just Don't Want to Be Lonely, which was number 10. So what was it like to have this lead singer father growing up in the household?
Well, that's a very interesting question for the simple fact that my brother is 9 years older than me, okay? My sister, 1 year to the day older than him. They share a birthday. Another interview. By the time I was born, the fame part of it kind of the money part of it ran out, but not so much the fame. I didn't find out till just a couple years ago. My father what he did is he dictated his entire life to a friend of his who was also his publicist, a close friend of the family, but he's also a publicist. And him and my mother wrote my father's book that they're trying to get published. Again, another interview. Anyway, but as I read a lot of the backstory, I found out what happened. I thought that my father just wasn't that good with money and we had to start over again, But during apartheid, 1976, the year I was born, my father went out to South Africa, which was a big no-no to the people out in the U.S. Like they didn't want our entertainers going out there. So when he came back, he got blacklisted. Oh. And everything dried up. The spins stopped, record spins, record play, all that, interviews, everything stopped for him. And he had to start back over. But we lost a lot of houses, finances. We went on the road. We were homeless for a while. My brother started out as an actor and then I followed suit.
Right. And your brother is Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yes, sir.
Named after your dad.
Yes, sir.
Right. Who is an Academy Award winner.
Yes.
For his role in Jerry Maguire.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, because at one point, as I was going through your history, your family actually became homeless.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what happened. Once we lost the money, my father was born in Harlem. My father and mother, both Harlemites, they'll proudly say anytime you ask them. My brother and sister born in the Bronx. Then 5 years later, they moved to California. Then the money dried up. Like I said, he went to Africa, came back, no gigs, record sales, whatnot. And then 5 years later, I was born. Okay. So my father, when everything kind of hit the fan for him, he said, I have to go chase this money. Papa was never home. I always joke about it. Papa was Rolling Stone, but that was, those facts. Like he was gone. He was always, out looking for it. You know what I'm saying? So since we were in California, home for him was Harlem, was New York. You know what I mean? So he left to chase that while my mother, my brother, and my sister and I moved in with my mom's parents in the high desert. And we stayed there for about a year or two until my grandpa said, look, you got to go. You got to take the kid. You got to make something happen for yourself. And my brother always wanted to be an entertainer, an actor specifically. Went to class for it, boom, 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 hence the Oscar. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but the journey getting there was a long one. We slept in a car, Bobcat with 3 kids and a Great Dane. I don't know if you know what a Great Dane is, but it's a very big dog. Yes. So to have a Great Dane and us, it felt like it was 4 kids. You know what I mean? And then he died while we were on the road, just, living conditions and whatnot. We were living in a hotel at the time. My brother had to carry him to a dumpster and like it was rough. But they kept it light for me. You know what I mean? Like it's different if you interviewed my brother or sister and asked them about it, I'm sure they'd be way more detailed in the awful and the sadness and all this, where it's all I knew. So I was like, we get to move around, we get to sleep in our car and then sleep in the house, and I get new toys every day, and then we had to throw them away, and then you got to rent my note, be running out, you know what I mean? It was like an adventure for me. So I was always smiling and bubbly, which kind of led to my success as a child actor with this smile that I had. And thank God my parents taught me to articulate and speak clearly. They never did baby talk with me. So I always had good, clear diction. And that helped me land roles at an early age. They'd see me and go, oh, I go, this black kid, let me see. And I'd start speaking and they go, oh, wait, okay, wait a minute, keep the camera rolling, you know. Then I booked a show called Wild and Crazy Kids. My mom was able to quit her 2 jobs. Hang with Mr. Cooper came after that, then Smart Guy, then Baby Boy.
Okay.
You know, but I don't want to jump ahead because I know.
Yeah, no, I want to get into all that. So your brother was the first one to really pursue entertainment.
Absolutely.
Right? He was taking acting lessons. You guys actually moved to Toluca Lake, I think?
Yeah, that's where I think we were no longer homeless by the time we got to Toluca Lake. Okay. That was when we found an apartment. Other than that, it had been hotel, sheepfold, shelter. You know, my mom was Christian. She got saved when I was born, so we would pray and sing in the car, pray and sing, and she would, you know, we stayed at the Christian shelter, the sheepfold. But then when she finally got a job at Broadway, then she could afford an apartment, and that's where Toluca Lake happened.
Aha. So your brother's taking it seriously. He's taking acting lessons. Mm-hmm. And is he landing gigs like early on?
Yeah, he had some success, man. I mean, he did a lot of TV shows, 227, Amen, remember MacGyver? He actually landed a spinoff called The Colton Brothers, and that like went maybe a season or maybe like the pilot Rev the Cases, and they didn't finish that out. But yeah, he was getting a little work here and there, you know what I mean? You see Coming to America. I know people talked about this. He was the kid sitting in the chair that Eddie Murphy was cut.
Oh, right.
That was him.
Right.
He had a whole scene that they cut out the movie.
Right, because he wasn't actually, he was like pretending to cut his hair.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like snipping, but there was nothing actually, no hair coming out. I remember.
Isn't that wild? I mean, the actual scene played out where at the very end, he cuts a chunk out of his hair because he says he left his wallet at home. And he said, all right, we get the rest of your hair when you come back with your wallet. And he runs out, but they wound up just cutting that out of the movie. So he's smiling the whole time because he's like, my line's coming. You know what I mean? It never comes. And then you sit there in the movie theater going, I'm sure, what? Oh, damn. So, which just happens to a lot of actors when they first come out. So it's great.